First question is the industry. It's about profit and it's a business. You are PC specialist. All your games being focused on the PC, but it seems that the profit now it's in the domestic consoles, and the PC is being a tough field to play. So don't you think it would be interesting for you to approach to the consoles?
Actually, no. I mean, for us, the PC business is wonderful to us. I think there's things you have to do to be successful on PC, but if you think about the sort of numbers that we do on PC, all we're going to get from going to console is having somebody else take some royalties out of the games that we make. So for us, the only reason we go to console is because we have a game that makes sense on console, but certainly not from a business point of view it makes sense. PC is still a great place to be.
So is there any conditions that you need to have to go to the console development, or
to go to console development?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's really if we had a game that made sense for console. I mean, if you look at the games that we make, like real-time strategy games are a great example. Like, they just make much more sense for a PC environment because it's a very much kind of a keyboard and mouse interface sort of game. So taking it to console just doesn't make any sense from a gameplay point of view. If we had a game like we canceled it at this point, StarCraft Ghost, but that was a game that made sense for console, and that's why we developed it there. But it really came from the game first. We wanted to make a game, that particular game, and then we decide, okay, well, if we want to make that particular sort of game, where would it be the best experience? And we decided console in that particular case.
There's been like a huge debate about the sequels. Some people think that it's better to innovate or try new things, and some other will believe that it's better to stick to the original formula and will work from that point. With StarCraft II, what you've done is to maintain the original formula and add minor changes. So what reasons took you to this approach? I mean, do you want to stay faithful to your fans, or you didn't want to upset them with changes?
I think it's deceptive to say that there's minor changes to Star 2. Almost everyone I found that is an experienced StarCraft player that plays StarCraft 2, it seems very familiar and very similar, and then very quickly you realize that it's very, very different. And I guess, imagine a game like chess. Imagine that you did a 2.0 of chess and kept the checkerboard the same but changed all the pieces. It'd be a totally different game. And that's kind of the way I think you might want to think about something like StarCraft 2, is we've actually made a lot of changes. We just tried to identify what the core of that game experience that we wanted to keep. We want to keep the fast-paced action. We wanted to keep, the focus on larger armies. We want to keep focus on kind of the macro management versus micromanagement of your base. So we felt like those things we definitely kept consistent because that really goes to the soul of what StarCraft is. But the actual units and tactics and strategies and features within the game are very different than the original.
Okay, and release date?
When it's ready.
When it's ready.
Yes, but the thing is, though, even though I'm not going to give you like a specific date, so we don't know yet. But one thing, though, is that once we hit beta, that we're actually close. Because if you look in the past, our betas usually take somewhere between 3 to 6 months to complete before you get the game out there. So now that we're in beta, I definitely think we're finally getting down to that home stretch.
Blizzard has invested a lot of effort in the cinematic part of the games. I mean, your CG sequences are incredible. And what I was going to ask you is, how close are video games from movies in that terms, in the computer-generated sequences, and why did you decide to invest this much time and resources on them?
I think video games still have a ways to go before they would hit the same graphic fidelity of like this computer-generated movie. And the reason for that is, computer-generated movies, they don't have to run in real time, so they can really, kind of take a lot more time on a frame-by-frame basis and do graphical quality things that just can't run in a real-time engine at this point. And chances are, you're never going to see a real-time engine that goes all the way up to like what they're going to be able to do in movies, just because again, movies don't have to run in full time. They can just render off all the frames. As far as like why did we build a cinematic department? Because we just felt like it'd be a great investment into the games. It's a cool way of telling some stories. And one of the things I really think is great about when you see the movies now is it allows you to kind of see a fidelity level of our universes that we can't deliver in real time. And when you see that introduction, that World of Warcraft intro movie, and you're seeing like, the night elf druid that changes into a cat, and you're seeing like how awesome it looks. I think it really helps even when you go into the game where the graphic fidelity is lower. You still have that picture in your head, and you've seen this universe realized at such a higher level of graphic fidelity that you kind of connect with it.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, it's in a real-time strategy game, it's difficult to unleash emotions. And is this a way to make the player feel feelings or have a connection with the characters?
Certainly for the single player. I mean, with the single player, we still, in all of our RTS games, we really do try to have strong characters and strong story. And one of the tools we have is, those CG cutscenes. And they're great rewards for the player. They're great ways to kind of in-cap the campaigns. And yeah, it really allows people to connect with the characters in a way that you can't with, a unit on screen that's 1 inch high, right?
Right.
I tell you this, for when my days have come to an end, you